Good morning. Um, I had a little dream this morning and I was going to tell you about the dream. And the more I went through it, the more I was like, no, no. So, um, the reason why I entitled this video, Where is Your Identity? Um, is because if you don't know who you are and to whom you belong, you're going to fall for anything that comes your way. A long time ago, when I was working at the revenue office, I told people if you think that you start with a name, you have another thing coming. Go try to change your name and see where you start. You have to bring a legal document that shows that your name has changed to the Social Security office because that name has to be linked to a number. At least this is how it works in the United States. I don't know how it works other places, but this is how it works here. And then after you bring those documents, the legal documents that have changed your name, and you get that changed with Social Security, then you are able to go change your driver's license and other things so that people around you will go, oh, well, she's no longer Trudy Ryan, she's Trudy Schrader. You know what I'm saying? Or after you get divorced, you go back to your regular name, whatever. But you are, in fact, a number, okay? So when it comes to walking with Jesus, he wants to make sure that we are not a number, but that our identity, who we are, is secure in him. And how that happens is it follows a path, but it varies. You're gonna pass checkpoints, is what I'm trying to say. Just the other day, I was talking to Lucas, and I was like, eternal white light cannot be understood through time, which means because there's no beginning or no end, things happen when they happen. And this is a very difficult concept. Sorry, I got a board here and this thing doesn't balance very well on my knee. When things happen in eternal white light, because there is no matter in love, they happen as they would have happened, will always happen, and are happening. So there's no way that there was a beginning or an end, they just are. Okay? So if you can try to wrap your mind around that, then you can begin to understand that when you no longer define yourself by matter, the things, circumstances, situations, your job, who the government has assigned, the number that your government has assigned to you, you begin to see that your true identity, who you are as a person, not just spiritually, but emotionally and even physically. Because when your mind is transformed, you go through transformation, and your body no longer serves as something to keep you back from serving God, but works in unison with God. You literally, what you do with the flesh is lay it out every time. I'm crucifying the flesh. This is my choice. This is the purpose it serves. This is my offering. Because I've said it before, whenever it comes to agreements, contracts, every single time you are moving with God, it costs something. Every piece of information, eternal information, costs you something. So the only thing you can do with your physical body is lay it down. Here's my sacrifice. I'm going with you. And then that means that everything that you do in the spirit, your physical body, is laid down, no matter what you're feeling. And believe me, it is harder said than done because the hot flashes. Sometimes the hot flashes and I'm like, I am so sorry. And they're like, all right, Trudy, we're going to deal with it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going with you. I am going with you. I just, oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, I said all that to say that when you know who you are as a person in Him, nothing that goes on the outside can shake you. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, it says in the Bible that in the last days, He'd pour out His Spirit on all flesh, and people's going to dream dreams, have visions, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And I've said before that back in like 2005, I had, it's one of those very few visions that I had where I saw a wheat field and the Spirit had been poured out on all of the harvest. And the angels were going through and weeping out. And He said, the Spirit of God said, the reason why the Spirit has to be poured out on all is because the whole process of the harvest is to separate the tare from the wheat. And the thing that separates the tare from the wheat is where their identity is. The wheat can never be a tare. It's always a wheat because it has seed in it. Tare is like mind systems of fear that have attached itself to the wheat and is trying to keep the wheat from being the wheat. But when you know that you're wheat and you can't ever be anything else, and you accept that for who you are, and you accept that the wheat harvest belongs to God, okay, I'll be wheat. There you go. And when you finally figure out, I am who I am because He made me thus, and He's a sovereign God and He knows everything, I'm going to submit to His authority and just be what I'm called to be. Then you don't have to be thrown about here and there and everywhere else, okay? So when it comes to dreams, I'm going to walk you through my process of having the dream. I'm not going to tell you the dream because in speaking out the dream, it gives the enemy authority. It makes him go, oh, we got to her. So I'm not telling you that, but I'm going to walk you through the dream, okay? So when it comes to looking at dreams, when I look at it and I come out of it, I'm like, okay, first of all, I remembered it. Spiritual stuff sticks to you. It sticks to your heart. It's like Jesus has walked on your heart. It's different than if you can't get some image out of your mind, because the enemy does love to torment, and he loves to give you thoughts and dreams and things that scare you. Okay. Number 2, what was my prominent emotion in that dream? Did it cause me concern? Okay, we're done. That's it. I walk away. I don't care what's in there.